Hello everyone, welcome to my very first Best of 2025 End of the Year video. Today I'm doing something that I have never done before. I am sharing with you your favorites. Well, maybe not you specifically, but my viewers overall. I looked over sales and click data from all of my affiliate platforms, Magic Links, LTK, Shop My, and YouTube Shopping. And in addition to that, I also took into consideration feedback that I have received over the past year on products that I have spoken about in videos throughout the year. So if you're curious to know what 10 products Risa Does Makeup viewers liked the most and purchased the most in 2025, please keep on watching. Okay, I've just got one more thing to say before I get into sharing the products. A lot of these were a surprise to me. Not because I don't think that they're great products, because I think they're all fabulous. I was a little bit surprised that there weren't other products that I talk about, I feel, a lot more often that didn't get as much attention as these. So I think some of you might find some of the things on this list a bit of a surprise as well. And there is a good mix of high-end and drugstore. First up is the Dalba First Spray Serum. I love that you all seem to love this product as much as I and so many of my peers, makeup artists or beauty content creators do as well. If I were to go back to doing wedding makeup or freelance makeup artistry in general, this would be a staple in my kit, especially for mature skin clients, mother of the bride, grandmother of the bride, anyone who needs extra glow, extra hydration. I have oily skin and I still use this. It is a spray serum once you shake it up like I've done here. It mixes the serum and the oil together. You can apply it as the first step after cleansing to lock in moisture. Basically, you can use this any time of day on your face, on your body to give your skin an instant glow. The mist is super fine. I have a feeling this is not only a bestseller of mine for 2025, but also a bestseller for a lot of beauty content creators and makeup artists. Up next was my first surprise, but sort of not a surprise because I have been a Ritual partner for a couple of years now. Usually when I partner with Ritual, I do talk about their multivitamin. They're essential for women 18 plus specifically. And although I have received so much positive feedback from viewers on the Essential for Women 18 plus, I have also heard great feedback on my second favorite product from Ritual, which is their protein powder. This is the Essential Protein Daily Shake, plant-based, vanilla flavored, 20 grams of protein. Some of you might not know this, but for the past 9 months or so, 8 or 9 months, I have been on a GLP-1. Since turning 50, I gained about 20 pounds that I really struggled to get rid of. So I did go on a GLP-1 and I do have several videos going into detail about that journey and why I was ultimately put on a GLP-1 because I am pre-diabetic, or at least I was. Anyway, I am currently on a maintenance dose. But one of the important things, whether you are on a GLP-1 or not, I should say one of the most important things for any woman on a GLP-1 or not, who is trying to lose weight or maintain their body weight, getting enough protein in your diet is so important. And I don't know about you, but the amount that the specialists want you to have, the amount of protein you're supposed to get every day, I personally find it difficult to reach that daily goal. And if you are currently using some sort of protein powder, please check to see if number one, the ingredients are traceable, if the product contains a complete amino acid profile, is it sugar-free, vegan-friendly, third-party tested? If not, now is the time to try the protein shake from Ritual. Ritual is kindly sponsoring today's video because they have their biggest sale of the year going on right now. It is their Black Friday, Cyber Monday sale. So if you have been wanting to try, even though so many of you have already tried Ritual products and are just as happy with them as I am, I really, really encourage you to try their protein powder. 40% off. Yes, 40% off. Now this is a limited time offer. And by the way, the 40% is good site-wide, not just on the protein powder. But for the protein powder specifically, instead of paying $40, you will pay $26.40. The code to use is right here on the screen, Risa Makeup 40. The link to shop will be at the very top of the description box, so you can't miss it. So do not wait any longer. Join the rest of us who have finally found a delicious way to help meet our protein goals. This next product was definitely a surprise because I don't even recall speaking about it that much, if at all, this past year. But I do remember the video where I did first speak about this Wet n Wild Prime Focus Primer Serum Base. I believe it was in a video where I was sharing other makeup artists' hacks. And I recall very vividly the makeup artist did a lot of bridal makeup and she did work on a lot of mature skins. And she said that this was her favorite product, not only to use under makeup as a foundation primer, but she specifically loved it for under the eyes. She felt it made the concealer go on so much more smoothly. The concealer was far less likely to look dry and cakey. I have not looked at the analytics on that video in a long, long time, but it must still be getting views because this product is still selling like hotcakes. Obviously, it's Wet n Wild, so it's pretty affordable, so that definitely makes sense. I am more inclined to give a product a try if it's something that I can just go to Walgreens or CVS and pick up and not have to fork out a lot of money to try it. And apparently a lot of you feel the same way. Now you may be thinking, Risa, your bottle looks almost completely full, which means that you are not using this like you said you would. And you are not wrong. That is fair. But please consider what I do for a living, which is testing out new makeup constantly, new skincare products, new concealers, new powders, new eye creams. And in addition to trying new products, I'm also always trying new techniques. And I also do not have dry skin. I have oily skin. So this product, while I did test it out under the eyes and I loved the way my under eyes looked when I used this, I'm not surprised that I got away from using it because I just have so many products. And that's not to brag. I'm pretty sure most of you watching, or if not all of you watching, understand that when this is your job, when making beauty content is your job, it is very easy to forget about products that you did think were actually really, really good. And now that I have done this research and I am recording this video, I'm putting this back, taking it out of this filming room, putting it back onto the vanity where I do my makeup in my bedroom, and I'm going to be using it under my eyes again. Another product that I have gotten away from using because I just keep trying all the new ones that are coming out in 2025, a lot of new foundations were launched, but you guys seem to really love. And I used it today, again, to remind myself how good it really is. This is the Prada Reveal Skin Optimizing Foundation with SPF 17. I use the shade L4, and I used it today, and I immediately remembered what I had said about this when I first got it, that it was one of the best color matches I have ever had from a foundation in my life. This L4 is spot on to my natural skin color. Not when I've self-tanned, which a lot of you know I do quite often, even in the wintertime. This is one of the most perfect neutral tone foundations. It has the most beautiful, natural looking coverage. It's medium, buildable, has a very satin-like, skin-like finish. It's not a dewy finish foundation, so I'm not sure that someone with very dry skin is going to love this, but I think anyone with normal to dry, combination to oily, and heck, even very oily skin like me are going to truly love this. After using it today, I started thinking, you know, what are the foundations? What are the top 5 foundations that I have reached for this past year? Out of all of the ones I have in my collection, which ones are the top 5 that I really would recommend the most? And by the way, I am going to do a video on that, so I'm not going to share that information with you right now, but rest assured, this would be on it. It's definitely a top 5 favorite, and I do like that it is refillable. So while it is expensive, a refill does cost less. And if I remember correctly, I purchased this during the Sephora savings event back in April. A couple not so surprising bestsellers: the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Pressed Powders. I have gone through endless. Well, this is one of my newer ones. This is one of my older ones. I've got them everywhere. I just have always felt like this is one of the most beautiful powders out there for all skin types. If you want to look airbrushed and not cakey, you need this powder. It wins awards and shows up in professional makeup artist kits all the time for a good reason. It's just an absolutely perfect powder. And then the Patrick Ta Major Dimensions 3 All Matte Eyeshadow Palette. It absolutely makes sense to me that this is a bestseller. I will admit, I do not personally use the cream shades in this palette, the cream liners, but I use the rest all the time. And about a month or so ago, Patrick did launch 3 smaller palettes: a light palette, medium, and dark eyeshadow palette. I'll put a photo right here. I'm sure a lot of you probably picked one up during the Sephora savings event. I haven't purchased one because I feel like if you have this, you don't really need it unless you want to have something smaller for a smaller makeup bag or for travel. So I'm thinking, I thought that I would purchase one during the Sephora savings event, and I actually didn't. I just thought, you know what, I use this. I use this all the time. I used it today. I often use it as the base of an eyeshadow look, where I will then go ahead and apply some sort of shimmer to my lid. You've all seen me do it if you watch my videos regularly. You have seen me do my eye makeup many times, and these are the shades that I tend to always start with. Yes, it is on the pricey side, but the shadows are so high quality. They're buttery, they're pigmented, you're getting cool tones, you're getting warm tones. Again, I totally understand why this has been a bestseller. Products 7 and 8 are drugstore products. This is the Maybelline Lifter Sticks. I have it in shade 65, which is clearly not a foundation color for me, nor a concealer shade for me. I used this, and I still use it quite often, as my contour. Shade 65 is perfect. It's not too brown, it's not too gray, it's not too reddish. It blends out, as you can see, I'm just using my finger. It blends out really easily. Normally when I'm doing my makeup, I will use a brush to buff this out. But look at what that did for just this side of my face. It definitely gave me a little bit of a lift. I also like this to use to contour my nose. And obviously you all have been intrigued by it too, because this one is getting a lot of clicks, as are these L'Oreal Hyaluron lip oils, plumping lip oils. I remember purchasing one shade of these at first just to try it. That's what I often do. I'll purchase one shade. If I really like it, then I'll buy it in other shades. I ended up purchasing 4, and then I was sent a PR package with some of these new clear ones that have just like a slight tint to them. The one I have on over a Too Faced lipstick is called Latte Glacé, but my favorite is shade 601 Worth It. I am a gloss girl, and I really like a pigmented gloss, and a pigmented gloss that does not slide outside my lip line. I like a nice doe foot applicator. I love the size of these. I like that they are plumping, but they don't burn. At least I have not felt any sort of burn when I've used these. They're infused with hyaluronic acid and tripeptides for instantly smoother and plumper looking lips. As you can see, they have a glass-like shine. They're not sticky, they're not goopy, and I'm not sure if I said this yet, but they do offer 24 hours of hydration. So no wonder you guys are loving these. This next product was definitely a surprise because I only just talked about it a month ago. But you all are clicking on this link and purchasing this Danessa Myricks highlighter. It's likely because I had it in one of my Sephora savings event videos, and I think that's the time of year where people tend to buy more than they would otherwise, or maybe you're more inclined to try products that have been on your wish list that you've been procrastinating on. Anyway, that is probably why it's done so well in the end of the year bestseller ranking. I hope that if you did buy this product, you are loving it as much as I do. I waited to apply this product so that I could show it to you. I could demo it, even though I've demoed it before, in person or on camera. This is stunning. Instant cheekbones. Oh, let me give you the full name of this product. It is called the Vision Flush Glow Hyper Radiant Liquid Highlighter. And this is the shade Electric Love. From what I can see, it is still sold out. So either you guys were finding it in store or you just purchased another shade. I did receive a comment from somebody saying that they had owned this product for a while and that they didn't love it and they were going to try it again because of how I was raving about it. And if that was you, please let me know if you did try it again and how you feel about it. I did say, I think my comment back to her was that it does feel a little sticky to the touch, but I don't mind it for the results that I get with it. I'm not touching my face, or at least I try not to touch my face very much once my makeup is applied and once I've applied setting spray. I do touch up with powder to get rid of shine. But the point I'm trying to make is that the stickiness, the slight stickiness doesn't bother me. I just love the way this looks. And the final bestseller for 2025 is a fragrance. And that fragrance is the Letta Isla Coco. I believe this fragrance launched back in July or August of 2024, because I remember I wore it on a cruise that I took in August of 2024 with my husband and another couple. And I remember sitting in the lounge, one of the lounges where we were having a drink before dinner, and the cocktail waitress asked me what I was wearing because she just loved it so much. And she wasn't the only one who complimented me on this fragrance. And since then, every time I wear this fragrance, I get compliments because it is summer sunshine in a bottle. Would I wear this fragrance now? Yeah, I would, because currently in Las Vegas, it is cold and raining. And when I grabbed this fragrance off my shelf to bring in here to film, I got a whiff. And no joke, it instantly put me in a better mood. I'm someone who is very affected by weather, hence why I moved from the Midwest, because gloominess, cloudiness day after day really affects me. I did suffer with seasonal affective disorder. So living in Las Vegas, I know it's not everyone's cup of tea, but it has really helped me mentally. And on those rare days or rare weeks when the weather in Vegas is not great, sometimes I do need a mood boost. Snuggling on the couch with my dog and a true crime show can do that for me, but also spraying on a beautiful summery fragrance, beachy fragrance, can do that for me. I'm sure I've done this every time I have talked about this fragrance, which is to look up the notes. Isla Coco is described as a sweet, intoxicating scent where fresh citrus, jasmine, and ylang ylang combine to transport you to a distant island paradise. A burst of lemon, mandarin, and calamansi create an uplifting opening, while fig leaf, cedarwood, and black tea complement the tropical floral blend. Coconut milk adds a creamy, exotic touch. Deliciously bright and fresh, wear number 14 Isla Coco to elevate your everyday and enhance your spring and summer mood, or your winter mood. I'll be quite honest with you all. I have loved nearly every Lutta fragrance I've tried, and clearly they intrigue you all as well because those clicks were high. Now, that data doesn't tell me if you ended up liking the products or if you actually kept those products or returned them, but these are the 10 products that were best sellers over the past year based on the data that I was able to analyze, once again, through clicks and sales, through my affiliate platforms, through YouTube shopping, and based on feedback I've received from my Risa Does Makeup family. Of course, I will have all of the products listed and linked in the description box and tagged through YouTube shopping if available. Let me know in the comments if you liked this video. Should I do it next year? Should I do it bi-yearly? Is this something that you would like to see on a regular basis? I do know that there are some YouTubers that post on their Instagram stories, like their monthly bestsellers or their weekly bestsellers. I just wasn't sure if that was something you would all be interested in hearing about. So let me know what you thought of this video in the comments. Give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. If you are not already subscribed to my channel, I hope that you will hit that subscribe button and join the Risa Does Makeup family. I do upload new videos at least twice per week. You can also find more content from me over on Instagram and TikTok and Facebook under the same username, Risa Does Makeup. Thank you all so much for watching. Hope to see you in my next video.